Okay, this video is going to be a series of smaller trees that need some work, but would not be long enough, I don't think, to warrant a whole video of their own. This is my Shimpaku. We had, last I had done it, we had chopped this off. We were going to make it into, like, I had it going where it was coming up. I think would be an informal upright. Could be wrong on that. I always get the informal and formal mixed up, but I think it would have been an informal. But we had like bends in the trunk and the branches coming off. I didn't like the top. I didn't really like where it was going, and I finally got an idea if I just wanted to kind of go generally where I'm going now. We bent this one over, which pretty much held. There's still some of I took most of the raffia off, but the raffia is kind of sticking here, and it's kind of rotting already, so it'll just fall off as it rots more. Then this is starting to heal over up here where I cut the branch off. So what we're just going to do is I'm just going to take some of these. We're just going to see if there's anything that really needs to be trimmed. I don't see anything here. I think we'll cut this off and let this grow. This needs to be trimmed back. Some of the stuff needs to be trimmed out of shape. This is just not looking good, and there's a little thing next to it, so we'll go with that. This is kind of growing under here, so we'll get rid of that. And we don't need both of these coming in towards each other, so we'll get rid of that. Let me get rid of this one here. There's one growing, a couple growing right in the crotch there we don't need. We'll just generally try to trim these back a little. Trim this back a little. I'm going to actually trim these two branches. I'm going to take the front one off now. This one, as it gets bigger, I'm going to grow as a back branch. It's too small to safely prune now. But I am going to clean up where we cut off this piece in the back here. Clean that up. I just didn't want to clean it up this close when they were small. I'm always scared of messing up really small new buds, so I usually leave a little room for a little bit, and then I get them later, clean them up later. Let's see, this could be trimmed back. And I'm just trimming this stuff back a little bit into the shape I got going. We're by no means 100% on what this is going to be, but I have the general shape going for it. Get anything under this one going down. I should do that with the other ones too. Get that started. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff growing down in this one. Not as much as I thought. It looked worse than it was. Is there anything growing down here? Yeah, good. Okay, so there's what we got so far. And we'll move on to the next tree. Okay, these are my two skyflowers. This is the original one, and this one is a cutting from that one. It's doing really good, the cutting. This is doing really good too. I'm just going to clip this one back to get some, try to get some ramification, because I know these don't if you let them grow too long, they become a problem. And I do have the common name for this, I mean, not a common, the name for this that I couldn't remember. And I did find more information on it by having that name. Because one name they give this is a Brazilian skyflower, or just a skyflower. I don't know how to pronounce the name, so I will put that on the screen. But that's the more common name for this. Well, the more common name that I can find online. It's the scientific name for it. So we'll get started on these. Okay, generally what I'm going for on this is just an area over here and an area over here. We're trying to get this to grow a little out this way. I don't want it to grow too much back this way. We're out far enough. When I repotted it, I potted it more of an angle. I thought the way the trunk and the branches were looking, that it would give it it would make more sense for the look of the tree, and I think it does. We'll rotate it around, and we're just gonna basically clip some of this stuff back on this. I'm just gonna bring these back so they'll divide better, hopefully for me. Now this one's already divided here, so I'm gonna clip that back to there. Just gonna clip a little bit off of these to encourage those to bud. I'm hoping something comes of this. This is just a little leaf on here, but we may get something to grow out there eventually. So I'm gonna leave that leaf there, and then we're just gonna again over here turn some stuff back to encourage it to back bud. Some of it's already, like I said, back budding, so this one needs to be put back to something too. So that'll divide there where it's already came out. This one I'll leave for now. That might get taken out altogether. I'm sure I want it to go up much further. So that's all I'm going to do with that right now. Now this one, being so spread out like it is, it does take up a little bit of room. But it's kind of the design I'm wanting for it. I mean, we may move it again. I think it got moved. It settled down a little bit. I have a rock sitting over it now to help keep it from. It's still not anchored in there as good as it could be. So we'll get the little one. So the little one just needs. I just want to generally, because I'm going to do this one a more upright one. I'm just going to trim all of these growing tips back to encourage it to backbone and ramify. I'm not that worried about the basic shape of it yet. There is a dead piece here. So, oops, I don't have the thing back far enough. And I'm going to cut a few of these leaves that look a little funky off. I don't need all these leaves anyways. It's got plenty of leaves on it now, so. But this is done really well from a cutting. I think I started it in this early spring, maybe late winter, when I had cut it. No, it was in the spring, because it was when I repotted it. And I clipped it back quite a bit. Yeah, let's get rid of some of these funky. And this one's mostly this one ain't variegated. This was one of those branches that didn't have any variegation on it. So, I don't mind it that way. I like them that way, so it doesn't bother me. But this one's just all light green flat leaves, and neither one of them flowered this year. They get little blue flowers on them. The original one did bloom last year, and I should have left it just keep blooming if I wanted it to bloom. I find if you want them to bloom, you just got to let them grow all summer and not worry about clipping them much. I'd probably do more clipping in the winter on these, just because it just grows too big and gets out of control inside. So that's for those. I'll get on to the next tree. Here we have my Cascading Chinese elm. I don't know if it's still kind of a little wobbly. It's not gotten in here perfectly solid yet. That's why I got a rock on it. All we're going to really do today is one, wire this down so it's growing in the right direction. Because of how poorly this did earlier in the year, I don't want to let it, I don't want to cut it back right now. I might cut it at the end of the fall a little bit back, and then, because I'll probably let it go dormant outside and then bring it in like I did last year, so it'll come out of dormancy quicker than it might if it was left out, but I don't trust it here. I find a lot of debate on whether it'll survive here or not. I know I've killed 2 Chinese elms in my climate, so I prefer to play it safe. I don't want to lose 2 more good trees. I'll try to spin this a little bit. And I'm just generally going to let that grow out. I just want to generally get it to grow downwards as I want it. And this will always be, I think, just a semi-cascade. It'll never go below the base of the pot. I'm at least being able to keep it now below the lip of the pot like it should be. But I don't think I'm going to clip anything else. I'm going to clean this up maybe, and that's about it. I'm going to clean that up so it'll start healing properly. I think that's about all I'm going to do to this. I just don't want to, it's growing good, I don't want to set it back for the rest of the summer. It wasn't as healthy as it is now in the spring, and it might not be quite up to snuff to where it should be yet. So, like I said, we'll let this grow. We'll let it grow for the rest of the summer. Okay, we'll go to the next tree. Okay, here's my crabapple, the candy apple one. It's gotten hit a little bit by I think the rust that it got hit. Not as bad as last year. There's just some leaves here. I'll just take they're going to fall off eventually anyway, so I'll just cut. See, that one just fell off. The really bad one's off. And hopefully they will bud again there. Although that's coming off. Yeah, that should do. What we're going to do here is we're going to cut this leader off in favor of this. I like this better. And cut this off, and hopefully that'll grow better. This has done what it needs to. I think this has done its job for now. Chop that off there. So we keep getting more chops here. Just chop that some more. Not generally going to worry about this too much. It'll heal over, and I can clean it up another time. I prefer sometimes to do that when you get a lot. I don't want to cut too much off of this and kill it, so I'll put some stuff on that afterwards. Then we're going to cut everything else back to bring it back and hopefully keep it from taking over too much. I'm letting this be the main thing. And I probably, before I put it out, I'll probably spray this again. Like, these two are actually... Got it. I'll just get rid of these. But I'll probably spray this again before I put it back out on the bench. Or actually probably tomorrow, because this is supposed to, there's a good chance of thunderstorms tonight, so that'll just rinse it off before it gets a chance to do anything. So there's that.